Welcome back to Secrets of the Opposite Sex. I'm your host, Tasha Ray, and tonight we're diving headfirst into the confusing world of mixed signals and situationships. We have some familiar faces and a new guest joining us. Hey, guys.
Hey,
Hey.
what's up?
So let's start with our newest addition to the show. Bastion, why don't you introduce yourself to the people?
Okay, guys, they call me Fashion Stay Trending. I'm from Long Island, New York, and 23 like Jordan. Say what?
Oh my God.
I'm Sandra. I'm 42 and single.
And it's me, Kevin. Still a good ripe 38, living in New York City.
All right, and just how we do it every episode, we pull questions from the app Secrets of the Opposite Sex, which you can play from home by downloading it on the Apple App Store. So the first question I have for you. So how has your view on committed relationships or the desire to be in one changed with age?
It's definitely changed over time. When I was younger, I had this fantasy of what it was. Also, I've just come to the conclusion that commitment and faithfulness is probably not realistic for most people, most men. I think there's like a right way to do it, right? So I know this might sound kind of crazy, but if you're in a relationship and you're a man that feels like you need multiple people or whatever the case may be, I think there's a right way to go about doing that without hurting the person you're with. I feel like also there's a conversation that needs to be had. Like at one point, open relationships were like, oh no, that's crazy. How could anybody do that? But I feel like now with age, just seeing what I've seen and going through what I've been through, I don't think it's as crazy if it's done correctly, if it's done respectfully, if it's done in a way where everybody feels taken care of and everybody's kind of on the same page. So in that aspect, I've definitely changed a lot over time because when I was younger, I was like, oh no, that's a deal breaker. But to be honest with you, I don't know if it would be today.
I would have to say for me, it's a bit different only because I've never been in love or had a chance to have a true committed relationship, if that makes sense. So the older I get, the more I desire that. The more, especially in my industry, the more, in a sense, kind of yearn for it because I do work in an industry where it can be very lonely. I go to one place, to an empty hotel room, and then I come back to another empty home. And I can feel those spaces and times and things like that, but it still doesn't take away that, like, I wish I had someone to share my day with or someone call me concerning or since belong to someone, give them
Like that companionship, that somebody has your back type of thing. Like
that check in. They're like, oh, my day was
yeah.
hard. Sex is not going to keep you there. Hell, some love probably won't even keep you there. But the commitment to each other will and wanting to get to that grandfather love, that grandfather, grandmother kind of love. It's all cute when they old and sweet, but Papa was out there running around in them streets.
No,
Grandma
Papa.
was busting girls in the head. Let's be honest.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
But he was
let's be
also
honest.
taking care of home too.
That
Because,
is,
cheating is not a broke man's sport.
it's cheaper to keep it when you get them.
You can't be out here playing that game if you can't afford the game.
With age, I think that my expectations have changed as far as relationships. Like it's less expectations. Like now I understand that you may be in a race with different people. Like so it may be someone else there and you have to be, comfortable with that. And instead of like back in the day, I think it would have like people uncomfortable. But I think that due to the time that we in now in this new generation, it's competition, where back in the day people would go home from what they love or whatever, and it'd just be them too. Now you have social media where somebody can be inboxing your same lover at the very moment while you're sitting on a couch. So, I think that we are just in a competitive time. Like I said, less expectations. I think people put too much pressure on relationships. I think that we just need to try to build the friendship more and let things lead into what it's going to lead into.
Yeah, that solid foundation is everything. I'm not really interested in just having a relationship with just anybody, but I want to be in a relationship with like my best friend, so like I can come to you and I can talk to you about anything. So if you have that foundation built, then honestly, there's a lot of things that you may be more willing to deal with, accept, work through if you have a solid friendship foundation.
Honesty, I think that people think that being honest is going to mess up the relationship. No, it's actually going to make it stronger. I think that whatever your situation may be, bring it to the table, give the person the opportunity to decide whether they want to deal with it or not. I think that communication, that's a big thing in any relationship, whether it's friendship or something far as a companion.
What they want because they're afraid of being judged. And then if you give too much, you, in a sense, in today's world, you scare the person off. It's kind of like, I want you, but I don't want everything about you. I want you to fit into the picture because, like you were saying earlier, social media has made it easy for someone to create who they want you to be by just silence. You're just looking at a picture. And they can say that it's 1,000 words, but those are the words that you're creating, not the story that I'm trying to tell through that photo. Interpretation is perception, which is our reality. So it's like, now, what's the point of getting to know someone when I can just jump on your social media? But when you find that person who actually wants to, like, because that's one thing that I've been trying to implement in my life, is stop asking for your social media and ask for your phone number if I'm interested in you in that way. So
I just realized that people do that. That was wild to me. Somebody tried to talk to me. It was like, can I get your Instagram? I said, my Instagram? My phone number? Like, we don't do that anymore.
We don't do that anymore because they automatically want to see your entire life and what you're about and make up the story that they want you to fit. And when you don't fit that story, oh, she was too much. She was this, she was that. Nobody.
Did y'all look at my questions before we started? Because that's like, y'all put on everything.
We had no idea, girl.
That's the perfect segue, because the next question is, do you let people you meet see your social media pages before getting a chance to know you? Because I feel like that's been an issue for me in the past too. People make up things about who they think you are as opposed to actually just, I don't know, see who you are in real life, because
I mean, I feel like I don't really care. My page is public, but I mean, I feel like if you're that type of person, I don't really want to deal with you anyway. So like, if you're looking at my social media, that's automatically like, no, like, and kind of like making your own assumptions about who I am without getting to know me. That's already no, you're blocked. Like, I don't have time. I'm not going to even waste my time with somebody like that.
It kind of, in a sense, gives me a cue of how to handle you. It's just kind of like, oh, you was really in my feed, huh? Like,
you got a whole storyline.
Okay, so you are somewhat interested, but let's see, when I start speaking my mind, how do you react to that? Because you could look at the page and be like, the body's there, he works out, he does this, he does that. But then when you start to talk to me and you start meeting my circle, if we progress towards those levels, are you able to sit in a circle with me and my friends? And not saying that they are very judgmental people, but it's just like they are very solid and secure people with who they are. And sometimes that can become intimidating. And you may have painted me to have these friends that are just brunch on Sundays and they're 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? So, as I feel like social media sets you up with a picture, but that's only a glimpse into our lives and what we're about. Are you really ready for what all it comes in being in a relationship with me?
Most of the time, people are not. It's you find a lot of shallow people. Shallowness, like not able to have a conversation. Like I was just having this conversation yesterday. Like the average conversation that people have is just so shallow. It's like, what's going on social media? Who posted this? And then I'm like, honestly, I don't even know, don't care. Like, can we have a conversation about what was the last book you read? Like, you know what I'm saying? What are your interests? What do you like to do? Like, can we talk about anything? Right. How deep can you go? 'Cause I'm not finding a lot of depth, So it's like when you find somebody with some depth, you're like, oh, okay, this is
right. Okay.
refreshing. This is good.
I'm finding like little things in today's society that we had such a plethora of back in the day. Now, today, it's kind of like it's hard to find a man that reads. Why? All the knowledge that's out there. It's hard.
Women too. Women
It's
too.
across the board.
Yes, women too. You're right. Women.
It's sad. It's sad. Like it's sad.
And you
It's
got
like
Audible, like you do an audiobook.
I don't even see them doing that.
Sheila Scott, words and sounds. Words and sounds mean a lot.
Right.
I just think that, and like people have two sides to them. Everyone. And I feel like you have your Instagram side and then you have who you are in real life. I think that I'm not concerned about who you are on social media. I try not to, like every now and then I might look, but I don't get caught up in your social media persona. Mm-hmm. I think that's two different things. I think once you're able to differentiate the two, I think that the relationship will grow from there. Because who I am on social media is not who I am in real life. A lot of people don't even get to see that side of me because I don't never let them even tap into that side. It's like I know who to give into and then I know who not to. I think that it just goes with having a strong discernment of people and, just people around me. Because like I said, fashion is different from Simone. Two different people. Like you can't even compare. Like I got to the point where I know what I want now. So like I'm straight. Bye. Boop. See you later. It's like
real. Exactly.
You like once you secure with yourself and like you know where you're going and you know who you want to be a part of that circle, nothing else matters. You get what I'm saying?
And it doesn't take you long to figure that out either. Like, oh no.
It should not.
Yeah.
Doesn't now, like you said, out over time when you're secure, when you know what you want, it doesn't take long for you to figure out they gotta go. Just not gonna work.
100%.
You gotta know yourself because I feel like the few people that I have connected with off of social media and trying to get a date scenario, it's just kind of like I believe I'm a confident person and everything. And it's just kind of like you're looking at my page and you're looking for me to fix you. You see me traveling. You see me with friends on doing things. Oh, he's brunching every Sunday and you want that life. So now you're like, slide into the DM. Let's hit it up, see if we can get something popping. But then it's just kind of like, let's say for hypothetically speaking, I bring you into that and you're not securing yourself. You're going to fold. You have not did the work within self to deserve that work.
There we go.
Yeah. And you think you know you want it, but then when you get it, it's a lot more than what you thought it was going to be. Okay. Especially like, like you said, we're all three of us are in the same like industry. Fashion, I'm not sure what you do, but like, they can't really handle that. You've been gone all the time. You traveling, you doing this and that. Like it's not even. No, it was cute on social media.
Okay.
Okay. He really be gone. She really gone for 3 days.
Right. You leaving again? Oh.
Right.
Okay. I don't know about
you
this.
When they want to see you in your little uniform and stuff, but they don't see you for a week.
But I just think that, that takes a strong individual. You know what I mean? Like mentally, you have to be prepared for those things. And you have to understand that you can still have a relationship and not be up under each other every day. I don't want to see you every day. I don't. I'm going to be honest. Because I need things to talk about when I do see you. If you constantly keep seeing me every day, you're gonna get tired of me. Yeah, I look good, I might smell good and everything else.
Right.
Amen. But
Okay.
no, I'm serious. But at the end of the day, I don't want to be up under you. Like, I need to be creative, and I'm most creative when I'm by myself. And I think that you need to be in your own zone too. So when we come together, we can be at whole and have something to talk about and things to do.
So, how do you set boundaries in a situationship to protect your emotions and prevent any misunderstandings?
Communication.
Yeah,
I'll
just
sit
talk
there and
about what is it and what is it
Yeah,
not.
it's just communication. And if it's a situationship, I think that, like I said, communicate, be honest with each other, let each other know what it is. Like, I think people just feel like they gotta hide things. And then that's where things get all like, and then women like clarification. Women like to feel like, okay, like secure, like, okay, this is what this is.
We just want to know.
Yes, whenever you leave
Mhm.
space and room to think, that's when the confusion comes in. Then that's when she start acting funny. Then it's like, that's why you gotta, if you really like that person, whatever they may be, I think that just get straight to the point. Like, clear it up before it even becomes a problem.
Right. And piggybacking off of what you said, it's like speak to them, but speak to them in truth
Yeah.
always. Because when truth comes to sit in the room, you can't say it. You could create scenarios and truth can be like, he told you you don't kiss,
Yeah.
don't cuddle,
Yeah.
we don't do things that boyfriends do with situationships. So when you're trying to create scenarios in my head, because I live in a little delusion. but, but when truth comes in, even in my delusions, I cannot ignore what it is. That person said this is what's this. Like SZA said, he gets you Monday through Friday. I'm only here for the weekend. And if I am saying I want you and I accept that, I can't go up and make it scenarios in my head that, oh no, I want Monday. No.
Right.
You decide, you the sneaky link, you get Saturday, Sunday. And if you're not happy in that situation, then set boundaries for yourself. Change it up. I don't want to feel like that. And if those boundaries, if y'all come to an impasse, then you know that it's just best we call it done.
Just have to talk about things. And like, not only do you have to talk about it when it starts, you have to constantly check in. Like, if a lot of times in situationships, one person catches feelings more so than the other. And if that happens, you need to have a conversation and you need to be like, you need to bring it up. Like, look, I'm feeling this kind of way, whatever. I don't necessarily know if I'm okay with the situation as it is. I kind of want more, and see what the person says. And, like Kevin said, if you come to that place where one person wants something different, then you may have to part ways, but at least you had the conversation. At least you were open about it. I know for me, like, I've definitely been there. I've been in situationships where, like, I wanted it to be more. I thought, eventually it would turn into something else, and it never did. You know what I mean? So, now I'm just like, I gotta turn on this, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I can't care. Like, I just can't care. And I always have to have, other people that I'm talking to, that I'm still dating. Like, I'm never going to, because this is my mistake I've done before, where, like, yeah, it's a situationship, but, and I understand that, kind of, you know what I'm saying? But like, I'm not, so but I'm really into this person, even though I know we're not committed. So I'm like one track mind. So I'm still seeing this person. So it's like, I feel like then for that, you're just setting yourself up for failure. Because if you have, even if you're just dating and these people, you're not even like really, really feeling like that, you gotta, for me, like, I gotta have distractions. I gotta keep knowing that, like, no, I'm not in a relationship, because it's like your mind will be tricked. If you're just dealing with one person, then it's like your mind will be tricked into thinking, oh yeah, this is something more than what it is.
You know what it is too? It's because a woman, when she gets intimate with someone, women, like, we tend to get our emotions attached. So it's different. You get what I'm saying? So now your emotions is attached, and you're convincing yourself that it's more than what it is, and it's not. Women will convince themselves of something more than what it is. That's what I'm just trying to say. Even
Yeah.
though you see the signs, like a person shows you signs. If you have to ever question anything, then you automatically know off top that ain't the one for me. First of all, when I really like you or anybody likes someone, they're not gonna make you have to question anything that they're doing. They're gonna tell you, and they're gonna clarify, like, yo, I'm doing this because this, even information that they don't even want to give up. You get what I'm saying? So I just think that, like I said, women tend to get their emotions more attached to things. And I don't think that you need to talk to that person about it, because that person already know what it is. You have to talk to your inner self. Girl, you got to wake up.
Have to speak for the male perspective as well. I think men definitely get their emotions involved. They just assess and adapt. So I know some guys that they're ready for their wife, they're ready for this, and they find girls, but the girl is not on that time. So it's just kind of like we have conversations like that shorty, like she's wife material. I would love to take that, but she's just not ready. So he's not gonna sit around and wait. Of course, he's gonna play the field, but then it's just kind of like that miscommunication. I always feel like it, because then when one party's not ready, and you just have that thing, like everybody just has that one person where it's like, we just have that thing, right time, right person, wrong time kind of thing. And it's kind of like the time just never connects for them to be together. 1 minute he's like, I could see myself with her, but she's like, baby, I just want to be out here. I want to be for the streets today. And then she's like, you know what? I just sit out here, but I want to be with him now. And he's like, well, now I wanted you, but then you told me you was for the streets. So I went and got in the streets, and the streets just showing me a good time. So I'm not ready. And it just continuously misses each other. And I feel like that is just the shank of life, where it's kind of like, I know me and that person will be great. Our chemistry is everything. We just vibe, but
We all got that one. Ooh.
we all got that one. But it's kind of like, I got to go chase this dream. While I'm chasing this dream, they're not on pause. They still have a life that they have to get together. And it's always effed up when they go and somebody else got the ring. And you, like, I was coming back for you.
You always be like, you know what? If he got his shit together, I promise it'd be over for everybody.
But it's kind of like,
it'd be over for everybody. He's the one. He's the one. If he just got his shit together.
But in a sense, it's just like, that takes time, and it's kind of like, am I gonna sit and wait?
Hell no.
Oh no.
Time is ticking.
Drive yourself insane if you sit around
time
wait
is
for somebody.
ticking. Time don't wait for nobody.
Because I hear a lot of girls that was like, girl, I remember when he was broke. Now he on the net and he got this. I'm just trying to see if we get, or it's vice versa. I remember when she was down and out. Now, baby girl, bossed up and have everything, skin clear, living free, wear her own hair. Like, oh, but he didn't want her. So she ain't forgot that. He ain't forgot that.
So, what is the first indicator that you're in a relationship that won't last?
Communication. I feel like as adults, we all understand that communication is very important. Like we were saying, it all ties into it, because I was speaking with my friend about this earlier. It's kind of like, if I get with a guy and he has a high sex drive, mine may not be as high as his, and I'm going away on a 3-day trip. I can't sit here and don't think that that man does not have needs. So there's a part of communication that needs to happen. Now, if you just go out there and do it, of course, it's done. But if you would have been like, hey, babe, I like to get it in, and you do too, but not as much as me, I think we should, find me somebody. And I mean somebody. I'm not saying everybody. Somebody that is just like, you going to fucking Chick-fil-A. You hungry? You go get food, you come home and you go to sleep. You get horny, you go see such and such, you bring your ass home and go to sleep.
Not get service, child.
Because your emotions belong to me. Because if I'm a person out there who gets hooked on kissing, gets hooked on cuddling and spending quality time with each other, there's somebody else that, and especially if you have a good one, they're going to try to slide, like Fashion was saying earlier, slide in that DM while you're sitting right there on the couch. It's not going to be that kind of type of party. And that's why our communication is more important. If we don't have that, for me, we don't have anything. Because I've told like exes in my past, the moment you fall out of love with me, let me know.
100%.
That way we don't have to waste time. I don't have to go here and have these thoughts. If you loved me like you say you love me, spare me of having these thoughts. Was it me? Did I do something? What did I not give to keep you there? Versus just stringing me along until you figure I get the hint. Because if it's important to me, I'm going to work at it. I want it to be successful in its entirety. But if you've checked out, let me know.
I don't think there's one thing that I can say that one indicator that I can say that I can tell that a relationship is not going to work, but a lot of it does fall under communication. Like if you're, not really paying attention to me. So if we've been together for a period of time, not even like, just maybe a few months, and, we decided at some point, like, yeah, we're going to be together. We're going to, commit to each other. And then, we've been together for a few months and you're just not really paying attention to me. You're not really listening to me. Like I'm making an effort to get to know who you are, what you like, what you don't like, those kind of things. And you're really not doing the same for me. Like I have a big problem with that. I've been in that situation, like, and it was very easy to see like, this is not going to work, because it'd be things like I tell him and he's just not listening. And I'm like, if you would have just paid attention, you would have understood, what was going on. You would have understood why I like this or why I don't like this, because we spent a significant amount of time together. There's no reason why you shouldn't be getting to know these things about me. Like we talked about earlier, just not being able to go deep in conversation. If we're just surface level the entire time and you can't go deep with me, then, that's definitely a problem. If you just feel like you can't be honest with me, again, falls under communication. So many things just fall under that communication umbrella.
I think the first indicator for me is always kind of like the double standard thing. Like they want you to accept how they behave, but if you did the same thing, it would be a problem. So that's always like a first, like, yeah. We're not gonna do
That's
this.
a problem.
The first indication for me would be just, reciprocation. Reciprocation is very big for me. Like I'm a doer, like I'm a caterer. So like if I'm constantly catering to you all day, different things you need, this, that, and I feel like I'm not getting the same thing in return, yeah, you gotta go. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm a person that I'm a giver, like, and I give cold-heartedly. Like I'm not looking for anything in return, but at least show me some respect. Show me like, okay, I see what you're doing. You get what I'm saying? I think that people think that catering just has to deal with materialistic things, but catering can be mentally. Women need you to be there mentally. You get what I'm saying? Everybody needs that person to talk to tell like how their day was and different things like that. So if I feel like that's not being reciprocated, I'm just going to cut you off. I'm not even going to say nothing.
Absolutely. I'm with you.
That's it.
No, I feel you. Like, and also like if we're not building together, like if we're not working towards something, we don't have goals in the relationship. We're not like, we're just here. Like or if there's not a lot of like we conversations, it's just I conversation. There has to be we conversations. If it's constantly I'm doing this, I'm doing that, you're not considering me in any of your like future plans, I know it's not gonna work.
What Sandra was saying, I think that goals is very important. I think that in the beginning, like, you get to know a person and then you start progressing and, you go out to eat, you do things, blah, blah, blah. And then, as things start to get more and more to a certain level. It's levels to this shit, y'all.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so it's like, no, I just don't want to take pictures and shit all day. Like, okay, what we doing here? You know what I'm saying? I think that it at some point it must go like this, or the other person starts to get bored. You know,
Yeah.
and then that person that's in your DM, or that one person that might be like, "Hey, beautiful, good morning." Like, oh my
Hey,
Well,
very
good
good
morning.
morning.
yeah,
Too.
now you
What's
find yourself. Now look,
Okay.
I'm getting to something, guys. So now you find yourself where you used to ignore the nigga. Now you might be like, "Thank you."
Okay. My grand rising
not you
queen.
checking for him now?
Grand Rising.
Grand rising queen.
Just because,
Boy,
just
okay.
because you slipping on your game and you not progressing in the relationship, that your mate is getting bored. And I think that people need to pay attention to their mate getting bored. It
Date
happens.
each other. Consistently date each other. We love
Yes,
to
it's
eliminate.
important.
Because, like, I like to get to know you, but I also have to respect you as a evolving human being, in which I am
Yes.
looking for, that is trying new things.
Yeah.
I feel like when we're trying things together and individually, keeps us moving forward, keeps us dating each other.
How can you tell if someone is genuinely interested in you or if they're just stringing you along?
Like I said, if they're having those we conversations, like we are going to do this, we are doing this, they're making plans with you. And I'm speaking from a woman's perspective. If a man is definitely, planning dates and not just like, oh, you want to hang out, like it's more effort put into it. He's not asking you like, well, you want to hang out, what you want to do, or whatever. It's more so like, hey, I made this plan. Do you want to go here? Do you want to go there? I thought of you today when I did this. Just thinking of you on a daily basis, thinking of you in certain situations, including you. I think inclusion is important. When they start including you in their life, including you in things that they're planning, thinking of you throughout their day and making plans for you, is definitely a great indication that they're genuinely interested.
For me, it's consistency. Because I'm a runner. I'm a runner.
Captain.
Road runner. I'm just being honest. I do a lot of self-reflecting and understanding Kevin as much as I possibly can. And he's a runner. As much as I say I want love, I am a tinge bit scared of it. So I like when pressure is applied. Pressure creates diamonds. So if I feel I have to dominate this one, I'll be the one doing all of that, and it's not, like Fashion said, being reciprocated, I'm going back out. Baby, put that pressure to me, and I'm like, ooh, he's getting a little too close. He's knocking, and he just keeps coming back. And I'm not saying that it has to be on the level of that extreme where it's just like, it's sad to say in today's world, where it's just like consistent good morning. How's your day? Throughout the day, like you were saying, Sandra, it touches on so many points of just apply pressure. Because if I like you, I'm going to apply pressure. Because again, I believe that if there's one, if I'm out here and I'm this way, then there's somebody else out there, and maybe that just might be the one I get. And again, communication will come into play. It's not like I like you, but you apply too much pressure. That's fine. I know to pull back. But me, I like that he wants to be here. Can I come see you? A phone call.
Yeah.
Phone
Consistent
call.
phone calls. Like consistently checking on me, consistently making sure I'm good, listening to me, supporting my everything that I'm doing, and remembering the conversations that we have, remembering the things I tell you. If I tell you something, I'm doing something. Like say if I tell you, oh, I got something going on today, or even if it's like I got something going on in a week, and you remember, and on that day you're like, hey, I know you have this going on. I just want to let you know, like, I'm thinking about you, go out there and kick some ass, whatever. Like the fact that you remembered that is big for me. You know, that shows
Because
me like genuine interest.
that these are the things that we like. These are the things that show us like he likes me, like he likes me. And in my delusion, girl, he loved me. Him love me. Because it's 100% true what you were saying.
Yeah. And if you want to know if I like you, just the fact that we talking. No, I'm just
Okay.
I mean, on a consistent basis, I haven't like blocked you yet. I still like you.
Know thyself.
Say just stop talking. You said a block. Like complete access.
Know
Gone.
thyself.
Like woo.
That's about it.
Okay. Sandra, I think you touched on this one earlier when we were talking about the first question. So in this one, is there a respectful way to cheat?
Yeah.
If so, do tell.
I mean, it will be communication. You know, it will be communication like, hey, listen, I'm over in Bali for like 6 months. Damn, babe, I'm missing you. I need some action. like at the end of the day, I just feel like, listen, there's two different things. Okay. Whether it's a male or female, it doesn't matter, right? And the two different things for me is when you getting involved with someone intimately and then emotionally. Now, if you're emotionally telling me, like, listen, I'm into this person and you're spending time with this person and y'all on the phone every now and then, that's cheating to me. Like, I feel like I could get over more a person just saying, you know what, I need to get my rocks off tonight. You know, it's crazy right now. I can get over that compared to you on the phone and you giving this person all your emotions and you telling them your deepest thoughts. I just feel like if I communicate a certain thing with you, like, yo, listen, I'm over here for 6 months, like I'm about to go have some fun. Like, at least I'm saying something.
I'm over here like, if two truths can exist in one universe at the same time.
Yeah.
If I am communicating with you that I am not happy, this is happening. I'm reaching out to you and telling you that these things are happening. You may not like the decision, and that's respectable, but I told you.
Yeah.
You don't have to like it, but I told you, and you have to take accountability. I'm not saying go just do it to do it, but if you are doing the respectful way to do it is have spoken to your partner, communicated it, and if they are just like no with everything across the board, even for me, it's gonna take a lot. I'm gonna go the distance with my partner. Like, look,
Of course.
look, these niggas is in this DM.
Yeah, Kevin's great. Kevin, great.
DM.
No, not the swipe.
Okay. Because some partners forget. Because you are loyal and you are faithful,
Mm-hmm.
and they have seen you curve, it did all that behind you.
Too comfortable.
Don't get that comfortable, because now you're like, it's not going nowhere. They're there. They're just waiting for me to turn around and pick up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm coming to you and telling you that, look, I got a plethora of people knocking at my door saying Grand Rising King. And every day I roll over and I look at you and I'm like, he used to tell me Grand Rising King. Now this one's telling me Grand Rising King with heart emojis. You got 3 emojis in there. Now I am smitten. And I've told you, I've communicated that. You can't be mad at me when you see me out there.
In response to what you said, Kevin, like, I feel like if you're that unhappy, like, then I don't necessarily know if like threatening with other people is really going to get the job done. I think for me, like if I was that unhappy, I would just leave, right? But in
But
terms
let's
of,
just say you away. Let's just say you away. Everything is good, but you going for like 6, 8 months.
yeah, so I feel like just in general, like there's a way to do it. Like, okay, there are men that are like, I don't necessarily believe in monogamy, whatever the case may be. They have a wife or they have a long-term relationship, and they see other women. I feel like if your wife or your long-term partner is unaffected, and that means like physically, like you're not bringing any diseases or anything like that home to her, you're not missing a beat with her, you're still putting it down for her whenever, what I'm saying? So you're not like out here sleeping with them and then ain't got the energy for her. Because there are men out here that have really, really high drives and everything, so they can please multiple women. But and also like home is not affected. She does not feel it in any way, shape, or form. She does not feel it. And then also, like, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be, depending on whatever the situation is, it can be where she knows that you're out here doing whatever, but it could be a situation where she has no clue. And that's actually great, because if she has no clue, that means you're doing something right. You're doing what you're supposed to do. But the chicks like that you're dealing with, the side chicks, the mistresses, whatever you want to call them, they should always know what it is. They should always know, look, I'm married or I'm whatever. I'm not leaving her. This is your place. This is what I can give you. This is what I can't give you. And again, like I said earlier, like this whole situation that I'm talking about is not like, you cannot be, this is not a broke man sport. I'll say that over and over, because again, you have to make sure like your wife is good, your number one is good, and if y'all have kids, all of that. And then you're definitely going to have to make sure the mistress is good, side chick is good, because she's not going to just, if you want quality woman, because you also have to factor that in too. Like, you don't want to be out here just dealing with anybody. You want to deal with somebody of quality, you know what I'm saying? So anybody of quality is going to want, you're going to have to do something for her. But if you keep everybody happy, I feel like that's the best way to do it, because you just,
I would challenge that only on the merits of we're still dealing with human beings.
My thing is,
Side chick could be taken care of, and she's like, he's taking care of me and his house. So if I get her out the way, then I can have both. He could literally be out with that woman and see the mistress. We know how they talk. We know how you as a wife could be put in situations, and it's just kind of like, who is that woman? I know nothing of that woman, but now you do.
yeah, but that's why you got to choose right. You got to choose who you're dealing with.
It could have been a situation where he chose right, but he just missed the wrong opportunity. It came down between wife and him on the same date. He was supposed to show up at two different events. Somebody's gonna be mad.
He's doing it wrong then. He should never be in a situation where he's trying to pick between, because she should know it's never going to be like, it's never going to be between me and her. She will always be first, and she needs to understand like that. So he's not doing
only
it
if
right.
his communication is impeccable, because men gonna lie, women gonna lie, and I can tell you anything and everything that you want to hear when we land in bed.
Well, like I said, so about doing it right. That's how you do it right. You talk about it. You make sure she knows her place. She knows your wife comes first, and she has respect for that. And again, just like in any other relationship, if you see the red flags early on, Like, you know, if that chick is crazy, you know, she's becoming obsessed with you. You know, you see all of that stuff, just like we see these red flags in relationships, regular relationships.
We love a little toxicity. I'm not even gonna lie to you. We love a little toxicity in our lives.
I feel what
I
y'all saying,
mean,
but I feel like it's not.
I
I
get
feel
what you're
like what you were
saying.
saying is probably more realistic for the 60s and back then when they could have a family here and a family here, and you could move like that. I don't think it would be. I First of all, I feel like so much has changed generationally. Like women today, a lot of them, they don't have that kind of respect. They don't
yeah,
respect.
They
If
blowing
they're
you
not going
up.
to respect your marriage, like they're already engaging with you. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
what makes you feel like it's their responsibility to protect your marriage? You're the one who put yourself in that situation to lose that marriage by even
Yeah.
engaging with that other person. So, people are built different now. People don't know how to shut up. People
Yeah.
don't know how to mind their business.
Girls
And when
want
the
to
people see what
talk.
you got going on, they want some of that too,
He bought you a Patek and
yeah,
bought her a Rolex, and she still wants to get on there and show
Yeah.
the Rolex. And it's just kind of like, oh, you got her that? Because
Mhm.
I know me. If I'm with a married
Yeah,
man,
times are too different.
but if I am, I want just as much as your wife gets.
yeah.
I deserve
And
just as
then,
much as your wife
yeah, I
gets.
guess if you
I'm
feel
holding all your
slighted,
secrets.
then
It's quiet. It's quiet money. Give me my quiet.
Okay? I'm meeting your bosses just as much as she is. Who you think
yeah,
filling in when she can't make it? When she 9 months pregnant? I'm not saying that I do those things, but there are savages out there that have that mentality.
there
Yeah.
are. And you're right. You're absolutely right. And a
But
lot of times you can't see that, you don't know that's coming, So, and at the end of the day, just like, Tasha, you said, as the man, once you even step into that arena, once you decide I'm going to do that, it's a risk
yeah,
regardless. So, if you decide you're going to do it, there are risks involved, right? So you can only do as much as you can only protect the situation as much as you can, but there's still a risk. Like you said, Kevin, they can blow your whole shit up if they want to. And
they
that's a
Absolutely.
risk. And that's the
Or they
risk
can
that you're
unintentionally
taking.
do it too, because hello, like there are diseases. And if this person is not married, like they're out here dating with other people too, like who's to say what their dating life is? So you
Yep.
may not intentionally want to blow up somebody's situation, but who knows if y'all comfortable and you're the mistress, the regular, uh protection may not be like every time it may not
Yeah.
be at that level. Y'all might have that level of comfort. So who knows what you can pass along, and then the secret is out of the bag because where
It
you get
is.
this from? How did I get
Or
this
maybe, or
type
maybe
situation?
your mistress might be watching your Instagram. So every time y'all go
know
out,
she
she's
is.
watching, and now she's hating. Now it's like she see
Mhm.
you. Now it's like, but you don't do that shit with me. You get what I'm saying? And then that one day where she feel froggy, she do some stupid shit, and now she contact your lover or he contact your lover. You get what I'm saying? Like I feel like also again with social media, when you start to show people who you're involved with, it becomes a risk. Whether you're cheating or whether even let's just say you're not cheating. Let's just say y'all they see you guys smiling. People want what you like have. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that are very unhappy in their relationships. It's a lot of people that are very unhappy with themselves just on a personal level. So let's just say they see me smiling with somebody and I just post her. Now everybody's looking, oh, who this bitch? You know what I'm saying? They going to look at the page or who's this guy?
Slide in
Why
her
he's smiling?
DMs
You
because
know?
I think I'm better for you, or
Yeah, a lot of people want what you have. I think that,
Yeah,
I'm just at a space in my life where I feel like I want to protect what I love. And that's
that's
just what
fair.
but it's also
you
like
It
know.
someone
is.
said, this is not a broke man's sport.
Yeah.
Keep your NDAs tight. You can't walk into the same space as my wife walks in. So therefore, y'all will never meet. My wife is off at the Kentucky Derby. I'm taking your
Mm.
ass out to Atlanta.
Exactly.
I
No, you're right.
agree with
Exactly.
that.
No,
But
100%.
it
Like
was like you were saying.
there has to be clear boundaries, and it has to be laid out. Like, look, This is what I can give you. This is what I can't. Are you okay with that? And if you even have to go so far as to sign a contract saying that you agree to it, like you said, I don't feel like just the average Joe should be playing this game, because it's not a risk that the average person can afford to take. But
But everybody taking it every day. What y'all? I know we all
doesn't
know
mean
people
they
out here
should.
just
Doing it right.
married and
Doesn't
cheating,
mean
ain't
they
got no
should
damn
do.
money, but out here. Okay.
Because
Right. We talking about
Power.
how it should be done, not
Yeah.
what's being done.
Perfect
Because
world.
what's being done
Because
is
the
a hot
average
mess.
person settles for the least amount. You get what I'm saying? Like, if I'm a cheat, it's going to, God forbid, which I'm not a cheater, don't get it messed up. But if I'm a cheat, I'm going to make it worth it. It's going to be some like levels to this. I'm not just going to cheat with some average little chick just running
Right.
around. You get what I'm saying? It got to make sense. I think that
Right.
when nowadays people just cheat just to cheat, like, what was the sense?
But see,
Because
that's
it's there and
that's broke man
accessible.
mentality. You
And
think you
that's
have a
like-
little money.
Like, let's
You
just
think
say
you
I'm
have
in a
little
that's
relationship.
fair.
Let's just say I'm in a relationship and the person I'm with cheats. Okay, but was it worth it? Do this person have way more? Like, I'm looking at all those aspects that come with it. Like, I don't just want you to just go fuck a regular random nigga. Like, I'm looking at you like a
Does it
like,
hurt any different? The
I don't
caliber
even
of
want
person, does it make it any different? The caliber of person, does it not hurt the same?
It does make a difference.
I don't think for
But
me it
then
makes
I'ma
a
look
difference.
at you
I'm gonna be
different,
hurt
like,
either way.
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I won't be hurt, but at least I'll be like, well, damn, at least it was a little worth it. like, but if you just say like you just mess with a regular guy, it's like, well, damn, like I'm gonna look at you different.
But maybe it's like what you said. You've been gone for 6 months and the itch needed to be scratched. Maybe it's one of those, and that was the regular guy that was acceptable at the moment.
But listen, but then say that.
I was out in Dubai looking for
See, I
the
feel like
best I could find, and you did this.
Lying.
Yeah, but
You
say
just
that.
out here telling everybody you love them and they're the only ones. Like, there's no discernment. There's like everybody feeling like they're, number one, top of the world, only one. They're like, that's when you messed up. Like, you gotta understand that everybody has their place, but I think this goes back to the conversation we had earlier about like people not wanting to be honest. Like, if you're honest with most women, like, we'll be like, okay, cool, we'll deal with it, or we won't, but we rather know like what's up. We rather know what's up. Like, if you got a girl at home or whatever, and this is we just fooling around, then let me know that. But if you sitting here lying and spitting all this game and telling me this and telling me that, and you're taking me out and you're doing all this extra stuff only to find out that you got a whole wife at home, or you didn't even have to do all that. Like, you could have just.
Okay. I have a thing, because I think we're talking about this from the perspective of the side person. So what happens if you're the actual partner and this is happening to you? Does that change it? Is that what you're just like, oh baby, as long as you just tell me you about to go have a mistress and a side piece and you about to spend this money on her, it's fine. Is that the same energy?
Oh,
No.
no, I'm over.
It's not. I
But
think
look,
for me,
it goes back to what Sandra was saying. For me, it goes back to what Sandra was saying, where it's just kind of like, sir, you don't have the money to do that, so I'm just gonna go. Because if I'm the one being cheated on and I know about it, you didn't communicate anything to me. Like I said earlier, I would communicate everything before I jumped into that lane.
100%.
You didn't tell me, oh, Kevin, I'm missing this. You're not doing this enough. Like Kelly Price, you should have told me. You didn't do that. And I have too much respect for myself for me to be out in these streets with somebody looking like a fool. There should never be a case where someone should walk up to me and tell me something about my man that I don't know.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, what happens if he does come to you and tells you, like, you're great, love you, I want to stay married, I want to stay with you for life, but I think I'm gonna need me a little something on the side.
So, say we're married, we've been together for 15 years or whatever the case may be, and you come to me and have that conversation. To be honest, I may just be open to that. I may be like, bring her home. I mean,
Agreed.
Bring it home now, Chad.
I mean,
We were talking
Love
about
the
that
more
earlier.
Demaria.
Everybody wants that grand.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, we can pick her out together. Like, what do you want to do? Like, because
Listen,
Because reality tell me this, I'm not just gonna let no good man go. They're too hard to come by.
if you're taking good care of me, like everything's good at home, like, especially we got kids, we got a family, and then you come to me, like, you respect me enough to come to me and tell me how you're feeling. Oh, 100%. I'm listening to you. We're going to figure something out. I'm going to be upset, but at the same time, how could I be mad if you go out here and do something? You're still taking care of me. You're still taking care of home. You're still taking care of the kids. But you've told me where I'm lacking and I haven't stepped up and did what I'm supposed to do as your wife, because that is my duty to please you. As your wife, that is my duty. Like, if I'm telling you no, I don't believe that. I don't think it's right for, like, oh, I'm telling you no constantly. If my husband wants to have sex with me, that's crazy work. Like, that's wild to me.
Especially
you know what I
if he's
mean?
doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Exactly. So if I'm doing that and then you step out on me, how can I be mad at that? How can I be mad at that?
I can be mad at it, but all right. You know.
No, I'm not saying you have to agree with it.
We
I'm
got to not talk
gonna
about
be hurt. I'm
Okay.
gonna be hurt, but I have to take some of that self accountability up on myself. I'm gonna be hurt.
Yeah.
Like, who wants to hear their partner
How,
when
now,
that?
how you get to be the blame for somebody cheating now? Like,
not
what if
saying
you are doing your part? You are doing what you should be doing as a
But
wife.
I'm
You
the
got the
cheated one.
kids, you got the
and that's
food,
different.
you got your job. Like, what? And they still
Tasha, then that's different.
That's
That's
different. Now, if you're doing everything, you're never saying, you're pleasing him sexually, all of that stuff, then yeah,
That's different.
that's a problem. That's a problem.
That's a more inner problem with
You
the
just
person.
did it because you wanted to at that point.
Yeah, you
Right.
just doing
had no
random
reason
stuff.
to do that.
Like, you
And
for
you
the
didn't even
street.
have a conversation with me about it. Like, hey, I want to try something new. I have curiosities. Like, you didn't even talk to me about it, just went out and did it. Then yeah, that's a problem. Then I'll have a problem with it. If I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, and I know deep down in my heart I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, and you have never come to me and complained about anything.
I just feel like my mate should be involved in whatever I decide. If I decide I want to do this, I feel like, come on, let's join. like we
I'll
all
tell you.
But
Right.
do y'all not feel like that is potentially opening Pandora's box? Like, especially like within either, allowing your partner to step out and, be with other people, or adding another person to your situation, like whether it be just for the night or whatever it is. Do you not feel like that's Pandora's box? If she
if I'm playing,
if
I'm playing my role, if I'm playing my role and I know I'm on point and I know everything I'm doing in a relationship and I'm secure within myself, like, I'm good. Like, listen, we gonna have fun. We over in a different country. Like, we over, like, I'm thinking more far out. I'm not thinking local. I don't want Shatika from the block. No disrespect to anybody.
No disrespect for the girl's name, Shatika.
No
No,
disrespect.
but
I'm talking about, we might be over in the country and see something foreign. I don't know. And it's like, it's a vibe. It's a timing. We all vibing. The drinks is flowing. Everything is going good. It's a time and a place for everything. And I feel like me and my mate should have that understanding. If so, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't
if
feel
that's what y'all into.
yeah, I don't feel like
what
I should have to hide something. I'm secure within myself. I'll let you rock. Like, I'm good. Drink. We all can have a nice time. I don't have to be up under you and be all like, babe. Like, I'm not that kind of person. You know energy when you feel it. You know a sexual connection when you feel it. It's a different thing between, just like, oh, that person look good, and like, oh, it's a different kind of energy flowing here. I just think that me and the person should have that much of a foundation to where we can decide if we want to take it there.
That's what I was just about to say. That like you said, Tasha, is it opening Pandora's box? It depends. And I think that goes back to like knowing your partner. How close are y'all? Like I said, I want to marry my best friend. So I'm going to know you inside, outside. Like, so I know whether that is opening Pandora's box or not. And just like, I feel like in any relationship, you got to keep dating each other, you know, you also got to keep it exciting. You also got to keep it, you got to keep it a little, you got to add some spice, sometimes. And whatever that means for y'all. And it might not even mean adding somebody else or whatever the case may be, because not everybody needs that or wants that. But whatever that means, I think that's also very important.
Right.
It's important.
I think the one thing that kind of like what the very first question that we talked about, like how you view things has changed with age, like how you view committed relationships. I feel like that's the kind of thing too. Like people change over time. So maybe you might have been into this in the beginning. You might have been wide open, like let's do all the things with all the people. Let's hang from the ceiling. Let's do all the things. But now you're like, no, she can't come in here. He can't come in here. Like, no, it's me and you, player.
Yeah.
That's it. So what do you do in those situations?
I think in that you just have to
change their minds, and they have the right to change their
believe
minds.
nothing is forever. And I believe that if it's the truth, it could be tested 7,100,000 ways and it will still remain as it is. So if you're for me and you say we want to go do these things and we go and we do those things and I get tired of those things, I come back, I have a communication with my partner. He's like, I still like it. I don't. So where do we go from here? What is the compromise? Is this in?
Yeah, I agree 100%, Kevin. Like you just have to have a conversation.
Yeah, it's understanding. Love is
I understand nothing is forever. Like I could be friends with you from birth to my death, but at the end of death, no one knows what's there. So we don't know out there.
It's not real, genuine love forever.
What?
Yeah, but love ain't enough.
Because he said nothing is forever. Like, is like real, genuine love connection. Is that not forever?
I think it is, but love isn't enough.
It's conditional.
But if I'm
love
gone,
isn't enough.
Love, that is the exact opposite of the meaning of the word love. Conditional. Those two have something to do together.
No, because you know why I say that? You know why I say that, Tasha? Because if I stop doing A, B, and Z, right? Most women, you're gonna be like, oh, so you don't do this A, B, and Z no more? So it's like your feelings are going to change. I feel
but then that's not love. That's not love,
right? Yeah.
I feel like most people be scared
That
to
is
say
conditional.
like conditional. Like I think that most women love with conditions. That's just me personally. That's the way I feel. Don't get me wrong, guys. I feel like women love with conditions. Period. I could be wrong, but that's how I feel.
I think
So
you're
I
right
don't
there.
I mean,
know.
look at conditions. I would
Yeah.
say most women just want the basics. And if those
Now
are
you got to give me a little bit more than the basic Snapchat.
like,
Right.
no, I'm not, I don't want
you want that shit.
I'm saying
No.
basics in the sense of what it should be. Like a woman wants to feel, like you said earlier, fashion. A woman wants to feel protected, wants to feel secure, wants to feel like her man is her man. She wants to be, I truly believe, especially because I'm Black women all day, every day, up and down. I truly believe Black women did not get the opportunity to live that soft life. But I was raised by a Black woman, 25 and 2 children. I had to make some shit happen, and she did. Because I love my daddy. I love you, daddy. That child support wasn't hitting. And he did his best. He did exactly what the fuck he was supposed to do. He went and put himself on child support and made sure that he took care of his sons. But when I look at my day-to-day life, my mama had to make everything happen. So, of course, she had to boss up. Like today, she'll tell you, like, she good on a man. Does she want one? I'm pretty sure she does. Would she like to feel that soft and be feminine and wear pink and, relax by the couch? Of course she would. But she got to get up. She got to make it happen for herself because no man that is strong enough has come into her life to make her feel secure enough to submit.
That's deep.
Because if you're not making your woman secure enough, especially as a Black woman, Why? Why do I have to do that? When I know I can get up and go out here, I want that. I want that so bad. But I will not allow my life to be in the slums for love. So if
100%.
conditions come with that, I can't blame her.
Mhm.
I can't blame her at all for that.
And I agree with you 100%. Because I can definitely live that life. You know, I'm trying to find my soft life right now because my son's 20 and my daughter's 15, and I'm like raised them both by myself. I already, you know, so I'm like, okay, I'm almost done. Let me try to just, you know, chill. But I don't think love, you know, love is just I don't think it's conditional necessarily, but I definitely don't think it's enough. And I think that that's what kind of like what you're saying, like in order for a relationship to work, you know, there has to be a masculine energy and there has to be a feminine energy. So if a woman or, you know, if there's not that yin and yang, then it's not going to work. There's so many other things to consider. Everybody that I've ever loved before, I still love today, but it wasn't enough for me to stay in a relationship with them.
There we go.
You know, there were other aspects that caused those relationships to not work.
Women deal with so much throughout their day, like you said, Sandra. Love will never be enough. You get what I'm saying? Like I could love you to death. That doesn't mean absolutely nothing. My actions will show better than anything. You get what I'm saying? Love is just love now in this new time in this new generation. Is just not enough. Not for the women in this generation. Maybe back in the day.
Anywhere.
Yeah, maybe back in the day and, you know, generations that came before us. But like me loving you, what that's gonna do? I'm just gonna be honest. I can't just say like, yo, I love this man or I love this woman and I'm just here. No. But while I'm here, what am I doing? You know what I mean? I need to be useful. I think that people get too comfortable in relationships where they don't want to be useful. Period. And then that's when you start looking on the outside. And
looking for someone to save them. In this generation, everybody's looking for somebody to save them.
That's the problem.
I'm not saying this panel, but I'm saying most of the people that I encounter, somebody's looking for me to save them. You see the life, you see I can, praise God, I can live by myself in New York, and you see that as payday. And it's just kind of like, baby, we are two men. I'm not taking care of a grown man, but let me not get into children.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like love is a necessary component.
Yes.
It's not enough because, like they said, love don't pay the bill. But I also feel like it's important to choose the right person to love. Because if you don't, that's exactly what you're doing. You're carrying somebody else on your shoulders. And who got time for that? Okay? Because life is expensive by yourself now.
Listen, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. You just got to be like more, I don't know, you got to be more like, yeah, about who you choose to allow yourself to be vulnerable with enough to fall in love with, to be in that situation to begin with. All right, so y'all, let's go to the next segment. This part, so this season we're doing the story time. And for this story, we have a listener submitted little situation that we're gonna help give advice to. Okay, so I've been dating a guy long distance for 2 months. He recently invited me to visit for the weekend so we could finally meet in person. Everything went well until the last morning there when I saw him messaging another girl on a dating app. We haven't discussed exclusivity yet, but he definitely made me feel like I was the only girl he was interested in. So I'm unsure if I should bring it up or just let it go. What would you do?
Maybe feel like is not enough.
That was my first.
Made me feel like feeling. That's just your own perception. If y'all have not had a conversation and that man has not been like, you're my girl, you're my woman, I'm only dating you, there's nothing to talk about. You can't bring, like, you may want to ask him or you may want to get clarity for yourself, but he doesn't owe you
An
anything.
explanation.
And if the man is not like what he made you feel like is not enough to me for you to have an issue with him talking to somebody else or doing it. Like you said, you're long distance. This is the first time y'all seen each other in person. So you really think he's just all in 100% just with you? Like, I think that's unrealistic to even think about. And if y'all haven't even had that conversation, I wouldn't jump to any conclusion. I wouldn't be concerned about anybody else. Be concerned about you. And, you know, if you want to ask questions about your situation with him, then do that. But not like, who's that? Why are you talking to her? That's irrelevant to me.
I agree. I just feel like it's no need to ask about another person. When you are in that person's circumference, everything should be about you and that person, whether it's catering to them, whether that person is catering to you. I think that it should not be, the conversation shouldn't even have to deal with anybody else except you guys. Like, that's small stuff. Like, if you see this person in your future and you actually want to build with them, I think that don't let the small stuff get to you. Like, that's irrelevant. You know, I just think take day by day and focus on a foundation first. Like, if I'm just starting to initially talk to someone, I'm not concerned about he, she, them, will, blah, blah. Like, that's irrelevant to me. Especially once you secure with yourself, you know, like, okay, once I do get that moment or that time, I'm going to make it the best ever. And I think that you just got to keep that mindset.
Exactly.
And as a child of a little delusion, we can run down this scenario for like real-time purposes. Okay. So say I feel this person made me feel like I'm the only one. I go over there. I see that. Why do you not see that as a call of a wake up? Why do you not see that as a reality check to reassess and say, you know what? He is talking to other girls. Let me just enjoy this moment. I'm out here. He's giving me attention. He's here with me. He's still making me feel like when I was back in America or wherever her location is. And just accept that moment for what that moment is, because I feel like signs are all around you. You just refuse. If it does not agree with your delusion, you refuse to accept it. Assessed accordingly. Don't put all your eggs in this basket. When you get back home, start looking elsewhere. Start going on dates. Like Sandra said, bitch, keep yourself busy until someone proves that it's only you. But
until that man says this is what it is, then this is what it's not.
I think that's the biggest sign she could have got. That's the biggest blessing to see that so early on, in my opinion, because you know, in favor. Because I'd be like, I'm here, I'm right here in your face, and you want to say that? Okay.
So, right.
Did he reply to it? Look, did he reply to it while y'all were there, or did he just look, ignore, and go back to it? Like, all these are signs that you need to
you don't know.
Engaging and reassess.
That's just a red flag.
He clearly wasn't interested.
Move on.
He's clearly not interested.
Right. He's not feeling
on that level of what you
if you're sitting in front of me and I'm texting or talking to another human being, am I interested?
He's keeping his options open just like you should. So you should keep your options open and give it the energy that it deserves. Well, you know,
he don't deserve no more energy.
Yeah, like exactly.
He deserves the block button, like Sandra said. The block.
Right, block. Sorry.
Once you get on that flight, girl, black.
Right.
Let him enjoy them girls in that app, child.
You don't even need to know I made it home.
Okay. Enjoy your trip, though, girl. Get all you can while you're there. You ain't come out there for nothing.
Don't kill the vibe, but just go.
That trip. But you know what it is now. So, like you said, Tasha, it was a blessing for her to see that. So it's like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Block and continue to push.
And good night.
Right.
You heard me, and good night.
Yes.
On that note, this is the part of the show where we turn the tables. Since I've been grilling y'all all night, now y'all get the opportunity to pose a question to the group. So if there's anything you want to touch back on or something new, completely different topic, it's free for all.
For the group, I guess I'm assuming, I think everybody probably has been in a situationship, right?
Mm.
So was there a situationship that you were in that kind of was like your wake-up call? And if so, like, what happened and how did you decide, like, okay, I'm not moving, no, I'm moving different from here on out? Like, what happened?
It was like one of my earlier relationships, earlier in my career, where they lived in Atlanta. I was in Philly at the current time, and I literally scheduled my life to see this person. I would bid weekends off, work horrible trips just so I can have Friday, Saturday, Sunday off to fly down to Atlanta to be with them. So at that time, my seniority was not the greatest, but I had a horrible schedule, and I communicated with that person. I said, this month, I'm not going to be able to hit every weekend, but if I can find an Atlanta trip, I will get there. Found one. Horrible trip. 5 a.m. report time out of Atlanta. And I go down there. I get there on a Saturday. And comes to the hotel, picks me up. We go out for dinner. And while at dinner, he gets a phone call. Well, it's his friends. And his friends was like, are we going out this weekend? And I forgot what words he said. I don't want to lie. But I'm over there like, okay. And he agreed that they would be going out. And I was like, I have a 5 a.m. van time. Like, I was expecting us to, spend that time together, because I communicated to you that this month I'm not going to be able to see you that much. So I am doing things that I would never normally do to be with you. This person was like, oh, you don't want to go out? Well, I'll call my friends and tell them you don't want to go out. No. You will not put that on me. This is your decision. So then night starts to come to an end. We go back to the hotel room. We're just laying in bed, cuddling. And we're supposed to meet up with them around 11 o'clock. So we're just laying around 11 o'clock, like 10:59, 10:55 hits. I'm like holding a little tighter, kind of giving you those cues where like, I don't want you to leave. It was not verbal communication, but it was physical communication. This motherfucker got up at 11 o'clock and walked out that damn hotel room. But he forgot his phone. But I didn't see it. So he comes back, he knocks on the door, and I'm like, my nigga love me. He pretty woman me. Like, And motherfucker got his phone and left again, and was going under the guise that he could go out and then come back to my hotel room. Mm. And in those moments, I felt abandoned. I felt misunderstood. I felt, in a sense, like lost, because here it is that I am sacrificing my entire way of life to essentially be with you. And because you didn't go out last weekend, you want to go out this weekend. That's my worth. That's what I attached my worth to in that moment. All communication was there. And you felt like you can go out, be with your friends, get drunk, and then come back to my hotel room to do what? Lay with me for 20 minutes? Or lay in the bed while I get ready? And in those moments, it was just kind of like, I have to choose Kevin first. That's when I knew.
Yeah, because if you that pressed to go out and y'all only got a short time to spend together, in them streets is where you need to stay.
Literally.
That's where
you can go out any other day. What?
That's where your heart is. We have how many weekends in a year?
Okay. You can't get like one night. It's Atlanta. It's gonna be something to do every other night. Like
always. It's something to do every weekday, let alone every weekend.
The club for you to
Right.
just go stand around and all look at each other because ain't none of y'all gonna say nothing.
Yeah. How old was he? Like, how old was this guy?
At those times, he was 25 and I was probably maybe 28.
Okay. Okay.
So he was a baby.
young. Yeah, he was young. He was
He was
still
young and
club-minded. Yeah,
dumb.
mesmerized by the streets.
But I'm like, that's why
Yeah.
at like 25, I'm like, if that motherfucking light don't come on, red flag, I gotta go. It ain't gonna work. Going back to the question earlier, it's not gonna work. I have a
Yeah.
question now. What is a forgivable red flag? What is a red flag that you know is just a red flag, but you are willing to look past it because they are hitting 1 out of 9, but that 10th red flag is just, what is a forgivable red flag?
I ain't got none of those.
I know. I'm like,
I'm not playing with nobody anymore. I'm not playing with you. So when I
right.
see the red flag, that's my cue. Duh. I ain't playing with y'all these days.
I love that.
I'm not playing with
Yeah,
y'all.
because if it's a red flag, it's a red flag for a reason.
Right.
It's not a yellow flag. It's red.
Right.
What would be a
So,
concept?
like,
What would
if
be a
it's
yellow
red,
flag? What would be a yellow
be a
flag?
yellow?
Because I've always believed in red or green, never the fence.
Anything that puts me in a state of confusion.
But would
Like,
that
I don't
be
that's a red
clear
flag.
yes or no?
Yeah, like don't put me in a state where I'm confused. Like, I feel like if I gotta question myself about any situation, then that puts the person in the red. Like, I'm not, like, I can't be in. I don't, like, this is not what I'm here for. like I
That's
am
a
a
red flag.
spirit.
Yeah, that's a real
Yeah,
red
like,
flag.
I don't need to be confused about anything. I feel like you need to talk to me about whatever you feeling. If I'm confused, then that means something is wrong and you doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. That's a red flag.
Yeah.
Of course, that's a huge red flag.
I feel like a yellow
Yeah,
flag is something that you like, maybe a behavior or something that can be undone. You know what I mean? Because I feel like
You can
red
talk
flags,
through it.
people are who they are, and that's exactly what you're gonna get going forward. And usually it's only gonna get worse. It's never gonna get better. A yellow flag is kind of like a behavior that we can work on that. You can't dress. We can work on that.
Okay.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you
But
don't
a
communicate, or
character
you
flaw,
rude, or you got bad hygiene. Typically, that's who you are. That's who you're gonna be. And you know,
and
you
that's
might
red.
be great for a couple months, but then you're gonna go right back to who you are at the core, because that's who you are.
Because
So
I always associate red flags with character. That's who you
Yeah.
are. That's
Character
Yeah.
flaw.
Yeah.
That's
at
a
the
red
core.
flag.
yeah, that's who you are at the end of the day.
And that ain't never gonna change.
Okay, they can keep them.
Because you're
Right.
I was
There's
talking
nothing
to one of my
forgivable about those.
Okay.
So, I had a situation where I was messing with an older individual, and Kevin, don't do that. And
I love an
it was an
older
older
individual.
It was
Same. Teach me something, Papa.
about
Papa, you killing me with his papa.
I love
It
an
was
older
about-
individual, okay?
chill, so I had to chill. So it was like around 48, 49. Individual told me, they mess with a celebrity, and when they come into town, they see each other. They see each other every now and then. They get it popping, whatever, whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. I ain't worried about it. Cool. At first, I wasn't worried about it until it started intervening in my time, in my space. And like I said in the beginning, it was cool, but then I felt like I just felt like I was giving more into the situation, and I felt like basically the other person is giving 2% while I'm giving 100%. Whereas like you can count on me on emotional, you could count on me on everything else. If this person comes into town, you get what I'm saying? Like
They're
I'm
clout
nowhere.
chasing.
Push to the
Yeah,
side.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
I'm to the
yeah.
yeah, like your ghost. I sat back and I'm just putting everything together, and I let it go for a while because I wanted to see what I was feeling, was it really true? You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I let it just keep going. And then I'm like, I'm just noticing, like, you know, when I want my time, I couldn't get my time anymore. So I'm like, yo, what? Like, this is crazy. So one day I end up seeing the individual. and when I came back to the store, the other individual was in the store. So we both bump heads. So now it's me. So now you see, like, and me, I'm very confident. Like, I'm walking like, yo, what's up?
Okay, it's good.
And it's like, you see, I'm nervous, you know, and I'm just regular. And the other individuals looking at me like, because they see the difference in the, you know, in the energy and the emotions of the other person. Like, someone, you want anything? You okay? Did you leave anything? And they like, what the fuck? You know, like, looking like, I can't believe this is going on right now. So anyway, you know, I keep my cool because I'm cool. Like, I'm not worried about that. I'm just laughing like, yeah, like, you deal with that. Anyway, so I come in, get my stuff, whatever. And, you know, I leave, you know, calm. It wasn't no interaction or anything. I left calmly. I got my stuff, whatever. And I kept it moving. So now further on, I left it alone. So it wasn't meant to be a conversation. It is what it is, right? So my thing, further down in the road, like I said, I just noticed my time started being cut in half. Like, and I don't like that. I'm the kind of person, when I want what I want it now. Like, that's just how I am. You're not about to juggle me. Like,
that's the pressure.
So, yeah.
What is your sign? First, just what is your sign?
I'm a Libra.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So I just felt like, yeah, like, you're not about to juggle me. Like, you could count on me for everything. I'm always there for you. You know, I never make you feel like you need to ask me a question or make you be in a fog about anything. I always clarify everything with you. My thing is this, just period, point blank. I should come first. They should come last. Period. And I felt like,
but how do you work if it's a situationship? What's the ranking in situationships?
So, you know why I felt like that? Because I was giving more in the situation. And I feel like the expectations for me were way more. So I feel like if that's the case, then I should come first.
Fair.
Okay.
Well, clearly she ain't feel like that. That's crazy.
So wait. So yeah. So after that, after I noticed that, I'm like, oh yeah, you bugging. You got me fucked up. Like, I'm out. like
yeah, she was taking full advantage. She was getting
Yeah. So I just
and you supposed to be okay with it because that's a celebrity. Like, nobody cares.
Yeah, like,
regular people.
I don't care about that.
Right.
Like,
they just gotta go
under
the spotlight. They're the same.
And I just felt like my thing was like, I felt like we had a deeper understanding, and the fact that I feel like that didn't override everything, I gotta go. So now, you know, press the brakes on it, and now it's like contacting me. Yeah, because you thought the grass is greener on the other side. Now you see it's not. But it's done. Now what I got to watching my Instagram every 2 minutes. You know, watching, wishing. Yeah, wishing they could be in my energy.
Their water run dry.
There you go. Wishing that they could be in my energy. And I tried to tell you, like, I'm a whole experience. That's your fault.
Period. I believe that with every fiber of my being. Period.
I tried to tell you.
I believe that with 1,000% of my energy. Experience. Right. I feel like
clearly they felt the same way because they still like, damn, I'm missing out.
Yeah, 100%. I just think that, you know, it's sad that sometimes, again, going back to what we said, comfortability, people get so comfortable. And the fact that I'm a giver and I'm real laid back and I don't be like, where you at? Got too comfortable. You get what I'm saying? I felt like, oh, she always gonna be there. I ain't worried about it. And then when I pressed the brakes, it was like, You know what I mean? Now it's like, oh
You
my
are so
God, I
smart.
messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's like I'm not gonna give you that opportunity again. Like you're done. You ain't gonna get none of this young stuff.
Question. Question. Would you spin the block with a situationship, but under the eyes of like going into a relationship?
Yeah, I'm trying to spin the block right now.
I need more details.
Story time.
What are we spinning the block for? Like, what happened the first time that made it not progress to a relationship? Like, what were that's kind of my question. Like, what are the circumstances? If it was certain, if there's certain things that you can't come back from, situationship, relationship, friendship, whatever, certain things you can't come back from. No spin the block on none of that. So I guess it depends on like what did they do the first time? Why didn't it work the first time?
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. The mic is on.
He's like, y'all not about to F up my opportunity.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Tell us all your business.
He there?
They were foul, okay? They were dead wrong. Like, lied, manipulated situations. But damn, I don't know. This is my
Sandra, I'm gonna be honest. The way you just started that up, I don't think you need to spin the block.
All right. Why you want to do that again?
She like,
No,
get somebody new, Sandra. Get somebody new,
Are
man.
you just bored? Like, is this just like it might be like a slow time? Because that's usually how they get you back. Because things are a little slow over here. Like, and you start running back down the road.
No, I'm not bored at all.
I didn't mean to
do that again. If you say he was foul,
despicable.
girl, you want to do that. You don't want to do that. I don't want you to do that.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Are you a girl of delusions too?
No,
I am.
He for the streets. He for the streets, man.
Those people only get worse. They never get better.
You know,
And I don't learn my lesson.
You're right.
I don't.
No, and it just, I swear, it's always like the one, it's like be that one person that like has you dumb.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta wake up.
And I gotta wake up. Thanks, y'all. Thank you. This is therapy right now.
Anytime.
Yeah, that ain't good for you, Sandra. I don't see that in the future.
I'm sorry. It was a question that just popped up in my head. It was because I asked the question only because I don't spin the block. The reason why I don't spin the block is because the person that I was when we were in that situation, it's not the person that I am today. And the reason I'm not the person I am today is because of how that situation ended. So I could never go back into it because you're still in love with that 28-year-old boy back there, being 10 years plus over that, almost plus over that. Totally different outlook on life, totally different set of mindset, totally different everything. And for me to spin the block means that you want me to step back into that 28-year-old boy that curated his life around you. And I don't do that anymore. So that's why it's kind of like I have yet to find someone that I want to spin the block with. Never say never, but I don't see myself ever spinning the block only because you would be in love or be infatuated with the person that you still have me in your head as. It's kind of like The Color Purple when Celie was only seeing Nettie as a child.
Yeah.
Don't know who I am outside of that guys. That's the that's the eyes that you are falling in love with. That person no longer exists. And if I did do that, we would probably end up in blows because the things that I tolerated back then, I don't tolerate now. I block, I cut off, I dismiss, I have too much going on in my life and too many good things to sit here and want to go back to 28-year-old Kevin. I can't.
I think that all goes back to like, what was the reason that it just did not work? Like, because sometimes it can be a missed opportunity, like maybe right person, wrong time. Nothing crazy happened. Maybe we weren't mature enough to like see this thing through. Or maybe like I'm in this space of my life and you're in that space. Your career's taking you here, mine is doing this. So that would be the only thing where it was completely like, we're good.
Yeah, that's true.
But it can't be like we were engaged in something and you did me dirty or you hurt me in any kind of way. You lied to me, you cheated on me, baby, keep it. Keep it.
Yeah.
I feel like this is
somebody else.
What we were talking about earlier, right person, just wrong time.
I mean, but even in your instance, like who's to say that he's the same? If we're just using the example of the boy earlier, like who's to say that he's the same 25-year-old that you fell in love with? You can grow into different people and mature and learn from your lessons and your mistakes.
Capricorn, and you know me enough, Tasha, that you know I'm a Capricorn, and this is gonna sound so bad. I'm not gonna say it because it's gonna paint me a picture in a whole different light. But I will say this: you didn't do better after me. You're still in the same place that I left.
Oh, okay.
And I only know that because, like Fashion said, you're still watching my story. You're still one of those faces in the DM. Grand Rising King.
You're still
Real talk.
I mean, you just gotta be a pride. You have got to feel like, I'll let you slip right through my fingers. You got to be like that. And I don't know nobody like that.
Yeah. No, I don't know anybody like that. So I don't need to be spinning no blocks.
No, you don't need to be spinning no blocks.
You're not spinning no blocks. It's done.
Ancestors told me don't spin.
You need new energy, girl. You need new energy.
You're right.
That right there is toxic.
It's very toxic. I need to stay away. Yeah.
Right. But again, we like a little toxicity.
No, boy.
We do. As a man of delusions, I love a little toxicity. I'm honest with who I am. I love a little toxicity.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to invest in you. I'm not going to get it twisted outside of what it is that I want.
What it is, right.
Yo, Kevin.
Well, that's how it starts, though.
I might test the waters a little bit.
That's
Kevin,
always how it starts. It'll never be like
toxic.
that. You be knee deep.
I had so much toxic, Kevin. I'm looking for peace. I can't deal with
I'm all love, sound
peace.
I'm all love, sound plants, incense.
I need walking sage in my life right now.
That, and I know it's gonna get away with it. Why can't I have you beautiful? I'm tired of healing.
Well, that does it for this episode. Thank you guys for joining us for another great episode. I think we gained a little bit of clarity on navigating the mixed signals and situationships. And Sandra, don't spin the block. Yeah, I'm gonna leave on that note. Remember, download the apps.
Spinning the block.
No spinning the block, stop please, Sandra.
Stop it. Yes, don't do it.
All right.
All right, on that note, remember to download the app, Secrets of the Opposite Sex Game of Questions on the Apple App Store. Subscribe to the podcast and follow on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for more content. We'll see you next week. Bye.